Hello everyone, this is Let's Connect and I'm Rishira Ganguly. And today we are going to be in conversation with the melodious singer Arzutra Garielle, whose second album is set to drop on all music streaming platforms on 2nd of April. So thank you for joining me in this interview. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you so much for having me on OTT platform, and it's been a pleasure for me to be here with you today. I'm having a nice day. It's Saturday. I'm in London, and the sun is starting to come out now, and so I'm looking forward to getting some vitamin D finally in London.
That's that's great to hear. Because here in India it's all summer and it's all hot, so it's
I,
unbearable.
I wish I was there. I really wish I was there.
Oh. Okay, so first off, tell me about your second album and what is the theme that you have set for it?
So, Tumhaari is actually the name of the second album, and the theme is very much like, as Tumhaari word suggests, yours. I've really gone all out on this album to make sure that it's got this magical vibe to it, and every song in the album has got this vibe where I'm just giving myself to you, as in the lover, my lover, basically. Yeah. And all the songs, Zalim, Must, Sehra, it's like I'm in submission to my lover. So I decided to call the song Tumhaari, which is after the lead song on the album as well, because it's like, when you give yourself wholly to somebody without any kind of hesitation, or without any doubts or anything, and like, I'm not sure if you've been in love before, but that's what happens, isn't it? You just completely submit yourself wholly to somebody. And that's what I've done in this album with all of the songs. So I actually thought, when I was thinking of an album name, I was thinking of all these different names, and then I thought, well, why don't I just call it Tumhari, because that is the lead song, and also it really does sum up all of the vibe of the album as well. So that's kind of the theme of the album.
That's beautiful. And I've heard that your inspiration has been Bollywood and you are making beautiful songs in Hindi, Urdu, and Punjabi. So, from London to Bollywood, you've treaded a very tedious path. So, tell us what pulled you towards this very vast industry, which is the Hindi music industry.
So I used to listen to the Bollywood songs from a very young age, because my father used to watch the movies, and when I was young I used to sit with him, and I never could understand the movies, but I always used to listen to the melodies of the songs, and I used to watch all the dresses and the fashion, and I used to be like just completely starstruck when I would be watching these amazing songs because in UK we don't have that in the Western movies, as you know. So it was like something like magical for me as a young child to be watching this on screen. And I could only really relate to the songs because I could never understand the Hindi in the actual film. So from a very young age, I've got these Bollywood melodies in my mind and in my soul. I would say that I've grown up with that. And when I decided to become a singer myself, it was like I was very drawn to the Bollywood melodies, because that's what I've been born and brought up with. And a lot of people ask me, well, why don't you sing in English, because you're born in London and you're British, you speak English as your first language. But I wanted to always sing in Hindi, and a lot of people used to say to me, you don't have the accent, you can't sing in Hindi, so you're going to make a fool out of yourself. And I used to say, well, I want to do it. Like, it's something I really want to do. So I used to listen to Lata Mangeshkar's songs, and I used to try to sing along and try to mimic the way she's saying the words, and even like Shreya Ghoshal. There's a song from Ras 3, Khayalo, and because I used to have, like, certain words would give me a problem, like Kaish and Khab, Khayal, like these kinds of words, and I used to then listen to those songs to try to help me to improve my Hindi, the pronunciation of these words.
So, writing songs must be also a very exhaustive process. So, how do you ideate your songs, and what is the process behind writing your songs?
So I don't write my own songs. Like Hindi, I don't speak Hindi much. Like, it's not really my language, and so I've had to work with my writers who I have in my team. So I've managed to find some really, really good writers who I will sometimes give them the idea that, okay, I've got this thought, in my head. What can we write around this? And then but most of the time I have to give credit to the actual lyricists, because they're mostly giving me the ideas, and then they present the lyrics, and then usually the lyrics are presented to the music producer, and then the music producer will either approve them or reject them. And then by the time I don't really get to see the lyrics written. I normally get to hear the lyrics first in the composition, when the producers had a chance to really bring those lyrics to life. So by that time it's like I will fall in love with the song because the composition's so nice. The lyrics kind of come afterwards for me. For me, first and foremost is always the melody, but I'm fortunate because I have got some amazing writers and lyricists, but I can't myself write a song in Hindi. If you tell me to write lyrics, honestly speaking, it would be, oh my god, it would be really, really hard, really hard.
So, as you said, you put a lot of focus on the melody of the songs. So, when it comes to music, there is a chance that it might get monotonous or similar to other songs that have already come out. So, how do you separate yourself and give yourself a distinct kind of, a distinctness to your sound, so to say, and separate yourself from the crowd?
That's a really interesting question, actually, Rishima, and I'm sure that me and you could talk for hours on that topic. It's a really, really interesting topic, actually, and one which is very exciting to talk about, because only last night I was talking to one of my friends, and we was saying, he was saying, without going into a long story, he was saying to me, well, why are you learning Italian bel canto style of singing when you're singing in Hindi, in Bollywood style, and you're learning from an Italian teacher the bel canto style of singing? And he said it doesn't make sense. If you're singing in the Bollywood style songs, you should be learning from the Indian classical teachers. So I was having this conversation, and we got into this big debate last night. This is one of my friends, massive debate. And at the end of it, I came to the conclusion that, look, I want to do what I want to do, and I want to do what makes me happy. There's already been, Shreya Ghoshal's already gone to learn her Indian classical, and there is this beautiful Shreya Ghoshal in the world. There's no point in me trying to be Shreya Ghoshal, because there's already a Shreya Ghoshal. You see what I mean, yeah? Now, my conclusion was, and he's saying, yes, but, and I said, look, I just want to do what makes me happy. Because if I don't do what makes me happy, I'm going to fall flat on my face somewhere along the lines. And being a woman in the music industry is so hard. We have so many challenges. We're up against, the male-dominated industry that we're in. Like, mostly, as you know, it's all men, isn't it? And it's like us as females, we're belittled everywhere we go. We're just looked down upon. We're facing all the time, like, having to put up with sexual harassment and all kinds of these comments that we get from the people who we're coming across, which makes us feel really horrible inside. We're up against so many challenges just from the pure fact that we're females. I don't want to have any more challenges in my life when I'm going and doing something because somebody thinks I should do something. So to answer your question, I think it's really important that I've never sat down and thought, okay, I want Arzutra to be like this, which is going to differentiate her from everyone else in the market, like how you would do that with products maybe in other business. I think for me it's always been about how can I do what I want to do and what makes me happy, but then also at the same time gives that happiness to my fans. So whether it's from a song, whether it's how I communicate with them, like for example, I love reading my messages at night before I go to sleep and replying back to my fans, and I really enjoy that. It's not always about the music, One of my friends said to me once upon a time, I remember, that you should make music like Kanika Kapoor. And I said, why? And she said, well, it's because that music is what all the what term was it that she used, the I can't remember the term, but all the rickshaw wale, she said, that's all the rickshaw wale want to listen to. And I said, well, that's not what I want to listen to. No, I think Kanika Kapoor is an amazing singer, But I don't need to be a Kanika Kapoor because there's already a Kanika Kapoor in the world. So I think it's really important, like I said, I think it's a really exciting question for me, and we could talk for hours on this topic. But I understand that, you know, we only have short amount of time, and maybe offline, me and you can, you know, hang out at some point and have a chat about it.
For sure, for sure. I will love to discuss this with you. And coming from, I mean, you're coming from such a background which is so, I mean, vast and so colorful. It's brilliant that you have chosen to take a path which is absolutely, I mean, it's distinct, but it's also very grounded in the Indian music scene. So, and you spoke about fans and you spoke about interacting with them. So, my next question kind of leans into it. How much do you think is the digital platform kind of important for this connection between you and your fans when it comes to music?
I think sometimes it gives me a headache because I feel like I've got a lot of babies in the world, you know. I'm nurturing my fans and I'm looking after my fans, and it's not just my lots and lots of songs which I'm nurturing, but I feel like I like I said, that's the first time I've used that phrase, babies. Oh my god, where has that come from? But that's how I feel, like these are all my babies and children, like these hundreds and thousands of fans are like just that, you know. Obviously they're all in different shapes and sizes. They're not all babies and children, I'm sure. Some of them are grown adults, but I feel like I've got a big responsibility where I have to look after them. And I think digital right now is very important because I was actually just having this conversation with somebody a few days ago that, you know, before social media we had to rely on the newspapers or the radio stations or the TVs, and it was very hard. It would be quite hard, you know, for people to break in, like especially independent artists such as myself. But at the same time, I think right now it's just so nice, such a nice feeling. I got a message the other day from a fan, and he actually wrote on my Facebook that, oh, you know, ma'am, you're the first superstar who replies back to our comments, and he was so happy. And I thought, wow, that's really amazing. Like, am I the first person who replies back? I don't know, but I don't know. And I thought, wow, just to be able to, for me to connect directly with a fan, it is really, really such a special feeling. It's so nice because otherwise you're doing it in a show, but even in a show, you know, you don't always get to have somebody coming and visiting you backstage. It's not that easy, as you know. So this is really intimate, and it's, I think, not just for me but for the fans, it's actually really special.
Yes, it is. And talking about how, I mean, you are a superstar right now, because in the Indian music scene and also in the music scene in general, looking at how music is really, I mean, it is a language which does not need any barrier. So who do you, I mean, want to work with in the future, globally speaking?
Oh my god, I think Amir Khan, I want to do playback singing for him. So if you do manage to bump into him in Mumbai somewhere, can you just give me my number, please? Okay. Amir Khan. And then I think from the West I'd want to work with The Weeknd is one of my favourite artists. I love his style and I think it's really got this unique edge to it. Or Zayn Malik. I love Zayn Malik's songs as well. Selena Gomez is one of my favourite female singers. Yeah, I mean, I think that it would be really interesting to do a collab with one of those.
That's brilliant. And lastly, could you sing a little snippet from your title song, Tumhaari? That would be brilliant. That would be great.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll give it a go. Let's see. Tum mere ho, मैं तुम्हारी दिलहारी मैं तुम्हारी.
That is so good. It's so, I mean, it was so soothing to my ears. And I think I could just listen to your voice day and night and just go on about my work. But just listening to you is so peaceful. And thank you so much, Arzutra, for joining me in this conversation. I love chatting with you, and I love how in tune you are with what you want to do and what you are meant to do in the musical scene. And yeah, I wish you all the best for your future projects, and I wish you all the best for your album that is dropping on the 2nd of April. So do not forget, everyone, to stream it on all music platforms, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. And thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been such an honor for me to be here spending this time with you today. And I'd really want to know what all of the viewers and listeners think of the new album or the songs on the album. So you can always, hook me up on Instagram, Facebook. And I'm really have enjoyed our chat. And definitely I'd love to speak with you like offline at some time as well. And don't forget to give Amir Khan my number, okay?
Yes, of course I will. All right. Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. Stay safe.
You too. Bye.